Okay. Oh my God, I'm huge. Hold on a second. Okay. Oh God, hold on. I'm huge. Hold on a second. Welcome to bed. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. No feedback. We're good. All right, so we're gonna be playing with some Python today, specifically Iron Python. Interesting that I've not quite heard of that before. So basically, this application that I have called Vox Commando. If you're in my age range back in the 2000s where everyone was playing around with software, using all kinds of new languages that we kept developing. And some stuck and some didn't. This was, well, around the JavaScript becoming the dominant space for web-based content, basically overthrowing Flash and Adobe and all those extra stuff, especially when we introduced the Canvas and HTML that basically like destroyed Flash. So we won't see any Flash stuff anymore. But back in the day, that was the main way the graphics were distributed, the Flash ecosystem with Adobe. Now, in that time period, there was little cool software. I was kind of exploring the internet and found this one here once called Vox Commando. Probably, let me see. Probably has an old, oh yeah, it's like one of those old forum places. Mm. So, thinking about it, like there's got a bunch of stuff here as far as guidance goes. But let's say the website. Oh, okay, there we go. So it is available. Cool. It's still available. And this software is pretty cool because it kind of creates a localized system. And from one computer, you can essentially make a smart house, which is a really cool thing. Not one of the things that essentially popped off back in the day, but consider the factors here. I'll go into a little bit about what Vox does in a general sense, so you can basically get a good look at um, how we're going to start playing with it and modifying it. So it is actually available. There is a free version too. He hasn't updated this. I actually talked to the developer. He hasn't updated this, but I did ask him for some guidance on how to basically create a plugin for the software. And it was a form of connecting into a Iron Python API system um, where it basically comes packaged in. So it doesn't use the Python that we have installed, or it doesn't install a 3.1 Python. Rather, it's compiled C++ code and all this jazz, and then it has an attachment of an import to this little mini Iron Python. I was always wondering what Iron Python's all about. I did research it once, but let's take a look real quick. Open source implementation of Python programming languages. This is very reminiscent of my other my other favorite websites, portable apps. That might be something I'm going to play with eventually too. I love playing around with software nowadays. And you can essentially, I mean, this is where I'm going to run it. I've actually combined these two. So here's some software recommendations. They're free open source systems, but here's what it does, right? So portable apps basically it runs in a little taskbar down here, but you can also call it from an icon in your task bar, not the notification space, but the bar, and it'll serve the same function. But really, it's like a little classic Windows. Hold on a second. Let me clean up a bit. Oh yeah, I was doing that real quick. All right, hold on. Got a lot of stuff on my plate, right? So portable app. So I'm going to introduce you to a couple of really cool software that if you're running Windows, and this is like Windows anything at this point, 10, 11, 7, 8. Yes, I know, Microsoft, but I haven't upgraded to 10. I've actually fortified my firewalls, router-wise, PC-wise, denying basically all traffic, having even this little tier blocker right here. I have a list of IP addresses I completely block from my system for any connection or any sort of communication. And then you have online lists, which that could be another video maybe, potentially. But there's an online set of lists that you can use as IP addresses that are known to cause a little bit on the grayish, shadowy area of morality. So it blocks them. And weirdly enough, it has like educational institutions too. So it kind of has an anti P2P organization, spyware, any sort of like adware stuff, or any known spyware websites, IP addresses, locations. advertising, which is something I've added. And then I made my own little custom lists down here, all having different types. Like there's one, two, block. This is actually generated with Grok, which was pretty cool. GitHub privacy, block ads. Yeah, this one has a lot of Google places. So normally the problem is when I unblock this, YouTube knows and everyone knows in the Google space, and they're like, "Oh, we can't deliver you ads, so we break everything." So I try not to leave it on unless I absolutely need to. So, but it's good to have like a little ad blocker. Basically, depends on the website, right? Anyway, all of this sits in portable apps, right? So we're kind of looking at this little thing right here, real quick. So all of this sits in portable apps. Now on the other case too. Let me see, how visible is it? Yeah, okay, cool. It is kind of cut off, so I'm gonna have to probably go to a full screen to really give this everything. Show you all of the things in once. There we go. Right there. Even that's not perfect. Ugh, hold on. I gotta do some modifications. Modifications. So I can show you all of the desk space. Okay, almost, right? Almost. You kind of cut off from the side. But that's because my background, or there we go. Change the size right there. Okay, cool. So there's basically my desktop, right? It's this little icon down here. Oh, actually, I learned some tricks. Windows button, plus, Windows button, and the plus on your keyboard. Look at these. Okay. So down here, this is good for teaching, is this little icon called the Portable Apps platform, right? Opens up this little, basically Windows XP customizable. You can like actually change the way it looks with a couple of defaults, but I like this one, very simple. And the magnifying glass is going to help me out a little bit right here. I'm going to leave them up there. But also, I can kind of do a little bit more than just using the default apps. Because let's say you download this, you install this, you can put it on USB too. The whole idea is you can put this on anything. You can put it on your phone and then run it from your phone. Kind of probably works if you plug it into a computer. You can plug it into any file system that you can actually like gain access to. Will it run in a cloud-based system? Probably, potentially, but there's no real kind of reason for that. So after that, there is hold on. Where is that? There's apps now. Each one has apps that we can actually go into. Where's the apps? Packages. There we go. And then you go to the packages right there, little tiny text. Or you can go to the apps tab up here. And then you can go into and look at what's portable. Office, Calibre portable, great book organizer, right? Sigil portable. What you see is what you get. Editor, you can kind of think of it like a visual guide to a HTML markup in CSS or some form. I don't really use those though. Financial stuff, wallets, PDF document stuff, Office Suite, Apache OpenOffice, LibreOffice. I normally use LibreOffice. Very, very big fan of Libre. I've been updating it. Fantastical. Cherry Tree for nodes that are kind of organized based on date. But Joplin actually, if you depend, and it's very close. It's the closest I've found. If you depend on OneNote, I mean, it's kind of a big thing for me as an educator. I got to show everything on the screen through a OneNote system where we basically take notes, first grade math, sixth grade math. Then all my students here, so with one we're learning the amendments in the Constitution. With another, we're doing coding, which is kind of where we're going to be playing around with today. So I might as well open up this little detail here. Actually, a couple of my students are doing coding. So the idea is, though, I found a replacement, potentially. Joplin. Oh, wait, I already installed it. Oh, wait, they have it as portable, too. Okay, so it's not in portable. I thought I installed it as a portable, but it's not. It's actually on my computer. But now I found out that Joplin is also a portable. So this is actually a good point. There's two versions of the software. One is going to be a portable where all like the registry modifications are set into a markup file, like an XML. That's basically all you have to do with Windows systems. instead of using the registry, because if you depend on the registry, you're kind of stuck to a specific Windows system or computer. And then when you move the files over, all the settings and informations in registry on the other computer. So the solution for that is to really make them portable or just regular applications that are not attached to a registry. This kind of makes me feel like Microsoft wanted to make a little bit of a um, locked up software. So making people use the registry would basically prevent and become dependent on the registry, would prevent developers from migrating to Linux because now they have to reformat their old system to go from registry to like a local file. Anyway, babbling and babbling. Here's what it is. It's basically like a OneNote. Mm, the idea behind it is you can make new little drawings. Oh, hold on, that's not it. You can add drawings, although I don't quite like how it's done exactly. You get an open new window, this hovering window, actually like that. And yeah, you can do your notes and stuff. And then this is the save case where you save it. It's like an outside canvas. Hold on. Save changes. No such file directory. SVG. Oh, it does save it as SVG, so that's good. But go back now though. I could discard. Something's off with this. It's supposed to save it. Joblin draw. No such file or directory open. Not saved from. Okay, what about file? Maybe new note. Maybe I'm in. Okay, let's say I can't do that there. So let's go in my notes. Make a new note. Let's do it here. No, something's up with my application. All right, well, that was so, forget about that. It's probably something I have to tinker with. It worked before, though. Maybe I have to do a restart. I'm not sure. It's not perfect. It's not by any means perfect. Like, the only software I actually enjoy using from Microsoft Office is, like, OneNote. That's it. I haven't found a comparable piece of software to this. Because essentially it is a infinite space that you can continuously expand with notes. And if you look at most of these, well, it's pretty good. It kind of a free form expansion and direction, and images and all the handlings inside. I really do like it, but Office and Microsoft has been disgusting me, so I've been looking for a alternative. And Joplin was the closest thing to that I could find yet, but I haven't looked lately. Maybe something new. Okay, anyway. Now, the piece that I really wanted to go for is the Vox commando, right? That's where we will really want to go towards. I know I kind of digressed for a good 10 minutes or so, but honestly, this software is really good. It's really good. I've had it on my USB, and I can just plug it in from computer to computer, and all the software works. It's like a great starter pack of software. And inside, I've also installed Vox commando. I've also made my own portables with apps that are not normally portable. There's like a little converter that you can use. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what I imagine it does is kind of like redirects from registry to a local file. So Vox commando is what we're looking for. No, that's not the one. Hold on. There's multiple inputs here. That's the only thing. I have to figure out how I can optimize my little MS speech. See, that's the problem too. Vox has that issue with local. It's trying to run. Is it running? Hold on, I might be blocking it. I don't really run it. I haven't run it in a long time, actually. No, that's fine. So maybe I picked the wrong one. So I have no organization in my presentation of this in the menu because it's kind of doubling up and I have to figure out where and what and clean it up a little bit. All of these, there it is. I had to pick the second one. All of these applications basically are just from a little directory, right? For me, I put it on the secondary partition, portable apps, and there it is. Vox commando. I have a TeamSpeak on here, FreeMind, FreeTube, which used to be pretty cool, but if you install into this folder, basically you have the ability to have it as a portable. Maybe like 90% of the applications. Some of them are really hard coded with registry, and you may not have the ability to use certain features, or you have to re-sign in or something weird like that, right? LLM stuff, DaVinci Resolve, portable, OBS portable. I don't use it really, but it's great to have just in case. Uh, Here block is that one right here where it blocks IP addresses. Tor browser. Gotta have some Tor browser. Remarkable. Yeah. Kden was like an editor for video that I didn't really get into too much. It was all right. And map portable. Just, for a little bit of looking around, identifying the network, just a tool. IDA portable Windows Grid Vox command. Oh, do I have two of them? Is the question now? No. Wait, Vox Commando. Hold on. That might be the problem. Yeah, I have two, three. Okay, VBox. Oh, VirtualBox. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I do have two of them. Now I got to figure out which one is working. Which one is the current one that's active? So if that was the second one that worked, I can right click and then explore here. That's the port. So the port works. The port works, which means it's picking up all of these EXEs, so it's kind of polluting my menu. So portable I can delete, but port is fine. I think, yeah, that was the old one. Now, hold on. I do have my Python stuff. Let me make sure it's in the right place. Okay, so Olama Connect is where we begin. This is a little script that I created for the Iron Python system, where it's actually going to connect to Olama. Like you can vocally ask a question into a microphone. The computer will pick up that question. The idea for how it processes the voice decryption or the voice choices and the way you say words, we'll see in a second how the logic runs on that. But you can customize commands vocally, right? In a couple of different ways. That's pretty cool. So we're gonna start there, but that's the step that I want to connect into my more let's see, my more advanced, call it advanced, call it, where are you? Call it integrated system that is for general AI access. My faves, was it my faves bot? Fathom? No, that was a different thing. That's bot AI before AI. Okay, hold on. What was it? Llama? File Llama? No, Web Llama? God, what do they call it? Face Llama? Yeah, okay. Face Llama. I don't know why I called it Face Llama, but it was just like a whatever situation. Okay, so then I'll open that in. Come on. File pilot. Okay. Mark GUI. Okay, that was the Markowitz algorithm. There's my fatbot spec. Okay, so I'm within the vicinity. Tools. Key hit, key dupes. Okay, that's great. GUI. Face llama. Oh, face llama because it had a GUI, I guess. It had a face. That's why I named it face llama. Net llama also, so that's an interesting one. I gotta figure that. But I've already got Vox Commando open here. So I'm gonna create a new window. And then this was where again? This was Code Python Faves AI. Python, Code Python. Do I not have that in here? I'm trying to organize my workplaces too. Yeah, that's why I've never, Jesus, okay. I haven't even, let me grab that. The whole thing, please. Code Python. Do I not have Code Python? Code Flipper, code AI code. Oh, I don't have Code Python in here. Research? No? Okay, well, cool. So we'll do that. Go here. I'm gonna do the whole thing. There we go. This one's gonna be the Code Python. So now you kind of see how you can organize your little projects. It's pretty fun to do if you're OCD. Get all the little files in the right place. All right, so then I'm going to be using the tool versus no, the GUI, face llama. Right. Okay, there we go. Now I had a bunch of versions. I don't want to use the Qt. Here's what the Qt is. The Qt, well, is my Olama on? Nope. So let me run Olama real quick. This is something I actually put on stream before. So as the server is running, I'll work this in, run it in the background or in the interpreter. I don't have a Python. Hold on. Select it automatically, please. Okay, there we go. Named request, no module, named requests. Oh, which Python was that I just ran? Oh, it's not the setup Python. I hate when that happens. Okay, hold on. I gotta get my other Python. I have a global? Why don't you? Yeah, why don't you use my global? No, still not. Bottom right, create virtual environment. Like Windows. I hate when it updates, dude. It's so fucking stupid. Did it reset my? All right, now I gotta do another thing. So I have a Python set in, not here, no, hold on. Is it MV2? MV2 Python 11. There's my Python. So I want to go to the settings, configure editor. No, new. I gotta go to the plugin, the Python, Pylance. Did this thing go away? I don't want to install a Python, just, okay. Then go to settings, and then here, and then Python interpreter. That's the default. That should be fine. Python. That's the default Python. Well, can I just run it manually? Is the question. So copy the regular path, run Python, paste the path, but hold on. I need quotes. There we go. Sometimes I hate why it's not using my created space. There we go. Ah, there we go. Okay, so Face Llama is kind of like my little interface for Llama that I did. This was a project for myself. And some setup queries so you can have like pre-instructions into adding it into the system. Because there's like different levels of queries you would normally do. You have like system queries, you have a regular query, and then you have kind of layers instructions. But normally you can basically use pre-query one just to ask. Or actually the chat right here. Oh, my GUI stuff is not so good, huh? All right, so you would basically chat with the llama here. You would set the query. I was supposed to, oh yeah, I did have some model reference points. These are the AI models I currently have installed. Awesome. Let's do something not so crazy. Nemotron. Question is it connecting? These were kind of placeholders for some stuff. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I guess it was a little laggy here. Tell me who and what you are. I don't have a direct indicator showing the process in the background. That's the only problem. I should have like an indicator of the thinking, like it's thinking before it replies. Unfortunately, there we go. The query is gonna take it. There we go. Sure, I can chat with Face Llama for you. What would you like to discuss? Interesting. It's a really bad model. This is kind of an example, right? So basically, I'm attaching myself to my local model. Now, the next step is not using the GUI because it's already kind of pre-configured with a GUI on top of the whole system, but I did have kind of a pre-version without a GUI, which is regular face llama. Was it face llama? Net llama. Was it net llama? I think it was net llama. Let me check net llama. Copy the path. And then the same thing, Python global quotes. No, no, that's not it. Hold on. Main Qt, keypress, invoke server, face llama. Oh, this was okay. So this was the GUI based one, which is reasonable because I'm in GUI. But maybe it was in the tools, AI, Look, Safe Sensor, AI Book, no, LM Studio. I'm still looking for the file, yeah. Totally forgot where I left it. I'm literally just kind of living it. Like literally, I got this idea. I wanted to connect it, so I thought I was gonna like basically record and have a conversation and chill with people online. Mm. If we got some people in chat, drop them in. I'll turn on chat when it comes to it. But definitely interact. I see it. I'm trying to keep up with chat. Trying to keep up with regular. Mm, and also looking at my analytics here on the side for a sec. All right. It is kind of early. Normally, I don't get too many people in this time, but at least it'll be recorded and it'll be a cool little. And then I have to like my next kind of steps are to go through all the lives I have, and then like cut them up and try to fit them into like 30-minute video spaces. Because I know individuals don't like to kind of hover in a channel for too long. I try to make it entertaining, but you're gonna have these moments where it's just working or not working right away. So no, NetLlama not loading last session. Possible construct relations, pickle data, da 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 da. Pickle. I need to find where Fathom was just the Markowitz algorithm. Networking, Scrappy. At least you get to explore some of the projects I've been playing around with. AI music, Secret Bot Masters, Obama lip sync master. It's basically any image you put in, you can lip sync with it. Uh, cool little projects to observe. And I like to learn essentially from the act of observing people's code. So GitHub is super useful. Some stuff you'll see here is going to be GitHub stuff that I've been taking apart into pieces. That's how you learn. And you never really learn all of programming. You just learn what you're exposed to. But where, oh, where? Did I literally put that file? For sure it wasn't file. In favorites. Bots. It should really be in bots, to be honest with you. Fat.bat was something else. That's still the Markowitz. I have a bot for God, it should really be here. I'm so bad. I should have put it somewhere nice. The file, one file that was the base format for the whole system in the GUI. Maybe it is in the GUI. Maybe I moved it somewhere. Here's me connecting Markowitz with the system. So I'm able to kind of take code from others and then incorporate it to a bigger piece. That's kind of how I like to think of it. I create little features that are very useful for me, and eventually I just kind of like package them into a big system. And right now the goal is to package it into Vox Commando. So let's kind of look at this real quick because this is more interesting for now. So I go back on the hunt, but also I wouldn't really want to go back into some Vox Commando and dive back in. So technically, I have. Okay, let me see. Hello, how are you doing? No. Crisis, are you there? There we go. So now it's basically on listening mode. Google the Cat in the Hat. Nope. The left hand. Oh, interesting. I did have some specific things I put in. Crisis, listen. Okay. What commands? Oh, I have a set of commands. Go away. Oh, forgot about that one. Show yourself. Show yourself. There we go. I I even made the window go away and come back. So I'm gonna keep it on standby for now because it's active listening to me. But really, the meat and potatoes of this application is the kind of logical creation of these little mini commands, all based on voice identification. Now, the problem I've kind of bottlenecked in myself with is that I'm using the Microsoft built-in speech analyzer. If I could find a way to connect that to like Whisper, then I can improve the specifics of the voice recognition, because that's really kind of the problem I'm getting here. It does understand a good set of basic words, and these are the words that we would say, at least the command, right? And then you split each word, how are you, into pieces. First, how gets picked up as the main command flow. Are you should be the second thing that pops up, and then you can kind of say doing, feeling, and you can even stop here. How are you is a simple question to ask, how are you? But then you can say doing and feeling is an extra effect. You can kind of use these as plugins for the next step, but we're not going to go into that craziness. We are going to just kind of get used to it and kind of go back into the programs that I have here. So options, I don't know what that was about. Vox command, software application, Google Chrome. Open Google Chrome. Crisis, are you there? Open Google Chrome. Now, it'll run a command, has a command within it, which is this little script bit here. I open this, then it actually does have a specific built-in interactive scripting system where it just shows the command that you're going for, or the application. It might not even be there anymore or something. And then it'll open up some locations that you can set up as like, maybe it'll open specific URLs. But it looks like in this case, that's not gonna do. Let me see, do I have a Chrome? I do have a Chrome in my portable. And since the folder is gonna, it's not gonna work completely. The folder can move to other locations. But the problem is the drive is going to change and it's going to mess stuff up. So there it is. It opened up Drive. I can even put this as, let me put it at ChrisMIA. Let's go to ChrisMIA.com, guys. Right now you should know. Save that, open up. There we go. So now I can just confirm that it works. Awesome. And then Crisis. Crisis. Crisis, are you there? Very limited on the type. Open Google Chrome. Open Google Chrome. Are you opening it? Did you open it? Are we running it? I don't see it. Open Google Chrome. Open Google Chrome. All right. Oh, is it? Oh, because I have to probably... Okay, hold on. I gotta save it and then exit. Okay. Open Google Chrome. Open Google Chrome, please. Cool. Problem is, I'm literally just talking into it and speaking to you and the bot. So hold on. Open Google Chrome. There we go. Okay. So I had to actually restart. Not restart, but close the editing menu. And the interesting thing is this is pretty expandable to a huge extent. For instance, I can do a wiki, right? So wiki someone, it'll run the same concept, but it'll actually, if you know a little bit about URLs, right, you can kind of add in a get request for a search value. God, this fly is pissing me off. And then the word that is your payload word, which would be, in the case, the thing you say to wiki, after the word wiki, who is, tell me about, or just wiki the word. Payload dictionary is a little attachment that basically uses whatever happens after as a string. Then you can pass that string over to wiki. So let's see. Wiki Benjamin Franklin. Forgot that it uses a built-in browser. Oh, whoa, whoa. I mean, honestly, technically, I could have just done a little bit more. Like, I can still tie it to Google Chrome, right? So if I do this, I go to my payload. Now that it fit, oh, that's a different Google. Is it? Oh, this is the robo. Oh, these queries are built-in queries. So maybe I should probably do it from here. I'll make a new one. Let's kind of make a new command here. I'm going to improve the last format. Okay, how do I add that though? Create new command. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna call this wiki. I'm just gonna call it wiki, whatever. Know who is on this case. I'm gonna add some phrases. And in fact, I'm probably gonna turn this one off. Can I turn that off? Change speech profile, execute macro. Toggle option. Oh, optional. Generally optional. Okay. I don't want to delete it, but maybe I should just kind of delete these commands. If I delete the commands, I can reuse them over here. There we go. Wiki. And then add a payload. Dictionary. Regular. I think it was regular, right? Yeah, regular. And then I'm going to edit this to do what we did before, adding an action, running the application. There's a little wizard, so you're going to see piece by piece how to configure your own little command in Vox Commando. So we're learning a lot about this because we need to see where the connection happens, right? I'm going to now do widget system. Hold on, I need to look at the other one. I can just use it from not robo here, this one. So launch. Okay, all I got to do is launch. All right, good. So add action, launch the browser. Okay, let me save. Okay. I'm just going to basically copy what I have from here to here. I keep forgetting where that little spot is. It's going to launch this, but then we need to go to a specific URL. And that URL is going to be the wiki URL with a search of 1 because we still want to basically add on. I wonder if that'll input it into the string. I hope it does. So that's where the payload should go in the GET request, but that's the problem. That's not a good thing, actually. I would have to like really do a script-based system because when we speak and the pickup happens on the microphone, it's going to put spaces, but you can't actually put spaces in the URL, which is going to break the system at that point. Instead of spaces, you got to use pluses. So now I actually have to expand this even further, which means I have to go into Python and replace spaces with plus signs and then return it or run it through again through the thing, but we'll get there. The other way, of course, was the local way. This is RoboB Navigate. It's basically what you saw. It's that little browser that popped up that looked kind of wonky. Let's do it again. Wiki Benjamin Franklin. And I was just trying to basically migrate it, but it's going to be a little different because in this case, this is kind of built in to do that sort of replacement. See, Benjamin Franklin has an underscore. Oh, that's how it works too. So we can actually see the URL at the top for an idea. So I guess instead of, I have to search it though. Interesting. I have to figure out a logical way to go into the details. Anyway, it doesn't look so good, but it is a wiki detail. And what I can do with the RoboB plugin is to actually make it read everything out. which kind of means that I'm, well, going to be waiting for a while. So the best thing I decided to do after all of these is development. Expanded into a little development for Python. Here's my script, the main script location. Python scripts. Jarvis was actually, I'm going to put that in development. There we go. Jarvis is the bit I wanted to connect together. Jarvis Olama. So that means I have the Olama Connect Pi. And this is actually where we begin. Oh. Sorry for the digression, but you will learn a lot about information here. It is so much to learn to the point of actually getting to the programming. Which again, not only am I you chilling with me, hopefully you got your little coffee. Mm. We get to like kind of see the realistic aspects of how applications work. Maybe you're not used to seeing this kind of application. Maybe you're interested in Vox Commando because it's pretty cool. Again, I would definitely support the guy. It's an old software, right? It hasn't been updated for, gosh, how long? I don't know how long, honestly. Oh, he's got some YouTube. Okay, let's see the YouTube. Actually, I should be subscribing. Okay. See, super small project. So there's also the speech engine, tutorial A1 editing building commands. Okay, so that's basically that. They have 1.12 followers. And how long? How long? When was I? Oh, 7 years ago. 9 years ago. 11 years. 13 years. 15 years. That's the dude, man. Let's see the guy coming home from work. This is probably the guy. But also, I should be running this through here. Got a pop.
Marcos. There is motion at the front door. Welcome back, puny human. The time is 6:05 p.m. Current illumination is 43%. I better turn on some lights. Would you like to listen to some music?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll just play some of your favorites. Let me know if you want to hear something different.
So this basically like your smart house. What was that movie? There it is, Disney. If you've seen this, you've seen this.
You already have beer on your list.
Remember to buy milk.
Processing. Milk was added to your list.
Yep. Oh my god. Yep. Anyway. So this is probably the guy. You kind of see the idea. You can control everything. He got it in his remote.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're not in the mood for Wilson Pickett right now.
So the idea then is he's using even the remote aspect of it because remotes nowadays have these APIs as well. So that means he had or went to hook plugins, and this was, I believe, one of the plugins for the remotes. It's probably his own plugins that he's uploaded, basically doing the same shit I am. There's the RoboBee browser, for instance. TTS is text to speech, the microphone, TCP mic, being able to connect from any mobile device like a phone. Probably he set it up with this as well, using the TCP mic so that he can listen to the remote when he's speaking into it. So it's a way for like you to connect everything together, which honestly in today's world, like everyone's so obsessed with tech, I don't understand why this didn't like pop off, especially in the geek communities, right? This is a perfect little project for somebody to like dive into programming and really see what and how it works. Just kind of like when maybe you first start taking apart like the way I would learn is take apart real code, right? Look at it. Just like the way I learned hardware was I took apart my first laptop. I wasn't able to put it back together. I saw what was inside. And this was like when I was 15, 16 years old. So that experience actually taught me and also gave me the incentive to make sure I pay more attention to my weaknesses because I forgot where some screws went. I probably didn't put something back where it was supposed to. I just didn't know. I didn't keep track of everything for the first time. But I also took apart remotes and other random stuff, so I always found it interesting to look inside. This is kind of that same aspect. You get a hobby to basically turn your house into a smart house or your apartment into a smart apartment. And it's all through like a Python or even here. Oh, they even still have Skype. Yikes, man. Yikes. They have serial connections. And Onkyo, what is that? That's the multimedia server that you can add into like theater systems, right? MP messages, TTSM, Watcher monitors a folder for creation of new files which can either generate events or to be read process section according to Vox app. Ooh, that might be a way to make plugins. Nah, I don't know. We'll see. Not necessarily where I'm really looking at here, but the JSON case, cool. I can also connect to MySQL databases. Now that I know how to do those, I could essentially turn that on. MySQL by querying XBMC MySQL database. But see, that's still XBMC. That's the Xbox Media Player. If you haven't seen that, I wonder what happened to that. Maybe it's still a project. Yeah, okay. Kodi. Yeah, right. It changed to Kodi. I forgot. They still have the link for it. They have the XBMC director, redirection or search. No, what is it? It's, I don't know. If you've ever hacked or not hacked, rooted in Xbox, the original one, this is kind of where it started from. It's a multimedia software that you can install on any system, kind of like Steam Big Picture if you've ever played with it. It's basically that, but you can have your own custom plugins also in there that can direct you to the different media services online. You can stream directly, many times bypassing ads and stuff too. So pretty cool little piece of software. And that's why it's here, because again, it's a multimedia system, so you can basically connect USB UIRT to receive infrared signals. Cool, okay. Depends if I have the hardware for that though. And so on and so forth. So it's got a couple of built-in ones. Oh, Kinect. Oh, dude, the best camera in the world for this stuff was the Kinect. I don't know what happened to Kinect, why we stopped on the Xbox wagon to create interactive and cool games like that. But once Kinect was over, I feel like Microsoft really just blew it, man. Once Kinect is over, I never saw it after 360, and then I was like, nah. That was like one of the big reasons, like the dancing games was the fun thing to do, right? It was like the innovative system, just like the Nintendo nunchucks. They never got rid of their nunchucks. They kept their nunchucks. It maybe didn't work in the best way for like the camera, but eventually they put so much motion detection in them, it worked perfectly as like virtual hands, basically, just like your 3D, right? Your 3D glasses or whatever the hell. I don't even, I don't mess with that stuff. I tried to do the Oculus or whatever, and it just made me dizzy. Anyway, I wish Kinect came back. I wish they made more, but Xbox is really falling apart. And it's a popular opinion too nowadays. If you look up online on YouTube, look up videos based on Xbox, they're purging a lot of gaming industries. So it's an unfortunate situation for a lot of people losing jobs right now. Anyway, back on it. It's a little diversion for some stuff happening. Mm, so now our next actual step, we can't really finish this wiki right now, so we'll have to do it another time. But the big step here is to focus on this file, the Olama Connect, which I have open here. Now we see how it's connected, right? In the same way that all the other commands, this one doesn't really run a command, but rather executes a py.exec file. And inside, we're basically using it all very similar to how OBS uses it. OBS also comes in this sort of Python-enabled environment, but it uses its own Python. So when you do create plugins for OBS, you basically have to call the internal Python to get access to the variables that OBS has. Like the scenes, the scene names, the arrays with the scene and the scene layouts that you have, and then also, or was that the workspaces? Forgot the naming convention. Hold on. I'll show you visually here once I get that open. There it is. It's running. It's getting there. I'm kind of probably running on nothing right here. Let me close some stuff. So there's your OBS, right? And if you do tools and then scripts, I also have a bunch of little Python scripts for OBS, which is super cool. This one is not the current one that's running. It's just a secondary OBS that I have. I have another computer that's taking in HDMI input, duplicated screen, and then basically kind of saves on the processing. So it's not dual screen, and I don't have to essentially, when I'm playing, let's say, video games, whatever, I don't have to lower my graphics performance when I'm doing actual streaming, which you can see on my website or my YouTube. I do a couple of games here that I find interesting. Next one, for the record, next game I'm going to be doing is Hacknet. I started off a little bit. It looked really nice. It's like one of those hacking simulators, right? So this is the upcoming programming special here, is how to work with Hacknet, this application. That's basically a game based on a hacker that was, I guess, killed. He wasn't able to input security key into his own, call it, failsafe. If you were to consider, I don't know if you would ever consider, but if you consider the fact that you're a hacker and eventually you'll basically get caught, you would use a piece of server somewhere online that's expecting you to chime in every maybe 12 days or so. You just put in a password and that server says, okay, he logged in, the counter resets to 12. Now, if you don't log in, case scenario, you got caught, then that server maybe gives you another day, like a warning. It sends like maybe an email to all of your email accounts to say, hey, log in, or something, red alert is going to happen. And during the red alert phase, you release whatever you need to release, right? So in the case of, like, I don't know, nowadays it's pretty insane, probably exploits. If you ever get to a point where you're in a bad situation, you release exploits if you don't log in, which will prompt a type of attack vector escalation of others online, or maybe you release an email, or if you're wrongly accused, you release some footage that proves your purpose, or not your purpose. Whatever the case, like, there's so many situations that you can think of. We gotta play these kind of games to really, like, observe all the possible cases. So that's what happened. 12 days, no sign in. This guy gets an email and says, hey, if you're getting this email, I'm probably dead. And then you end up kind of piggybacking on this guy's work, and you go into, I don't even know exactly. Apparently, you connect to different machines. It's not as intricate as a desktop environment, but then again, you don't really need one. But when we were playing Greyhack, which is very similar to Greyhack in the case that it's a different environment, though, not a desktop emulator, more like an interface that was customized with maybe something like tiled windows. Because in a way, it does still resemble a operating system. It's just very simplified to these few windows and interfaces that it gives for you. So we're going to be playing this. Super excited for that. I'm still exploring it. Well, I just kind of played it for 5 minutes. I didn't want to play too much. I really wanted to start scratch from it. So anyway, Python plugins within other software requires that you use the provided API. And in this case, this provided API is actually a Python inside of OBS. Now, I also connect a regular Python because it's kind of like working two pieces. It's grabbing that Python from OBS, picking up the variables, and then using it in a specific way. But then again, this one is 112. Do I have 112? I thought I deleted 112. No, yeah, okay. 312, 310, and then 311. My most used one is somewhere over here. I have so many Python APIs happening here. A lot of TensorFlow stuff. So that's the idea between any software. And in the case for Vox Commando, we can create that connection to this Olama Connect KY. And here's a couple of things we're getting. System collections generic, import everything. Collections is basically going to be the variables that we're passing from OBS into our new Python environment. Things like VC, a object that was created from a class in the systems collections generic. What this means here is you're essentially taking in the variables like the VC object, and then since it's a custom variable, it doesn't give you, hey, different types of informatory suggestions. So you got to really know the API for this, for the Vox commando, which is where you research a little bit or ask an AI because I can kind of like make a collection of information, which I've done. I have it somewhere. I forgot where I put that. I'll probably do it again to create a document for the Vox commando stuff, just for my reference, like a mini document so I can see what functions I have and all that jazz. But I found a bit on it in the past, and I haven't played with this code for quite some time, but because the voice recognition is a little funky. You can probably tell if you've been watching what the voice is doing up here when I'm speaking. It's like two microphones. I have one on the side and then one right here. The microphone on the side is what is actually... Uh-oh. Okay, good. Start FileZilla. Oh. Hello. Okay. Anyway. Go away. Okay. Crisis. Crisis, are you there?
I am here.
Go away. Stop listening and go away. I gotta make that one. Go away. Stop listening. Ignore me.
Let me know when you need me.
There we go. I have to remember what my commands were for the actual setup that I have. Okay, so also very robotic because you're still using TTS from the local system. I have yet to figure out how to expand on the TTS usage. Potentially, I can basically make it all happen here. But the command, the first things that you say to activate it, right? Because you have to say Jarvis. In this case, you say crisis, right? Okay, hey Jarvis. Crisis, are you there?
I am here.
Hey Jarvis, what is a book?
One moment.
So it runs this file. You have the call to action TTI speak 1 moment. It's going to take the last spoken words that I said after hey Jarvis. And then I got to give it a pre-prompt, which I have to expand on for the AI itself. It creates a payload with the information and the pre-prompt plus voice response. It sends it to the local server, which is the Olama. So right now it should be processing, which I'll check with the graphics card. It should basically be doing that. Okay. Problem is I probably changed. Right. Okay. So Mistral is not an AI that I have anymore within the system anymore. So I need to give it another one. Let's say I'll do Mistral Nemo. Mistral Nemo's always been good. Mistral Nemo. It's good because it has really good sort of programming and instructional sets. Okay, let's try that again. I updated the file. Hey Jarvis.
One moment.
Are you still thinking? Did I crash you? Are we gonna have a bad time?
Hello. How can I assist you today?
Where are you? Okay. Hey Jarvis. Crisis, are you there?
Yes.
Hey Jarvis.
One moment. Hello. How can I assist you today?
Then I have to really talk. There's another thing. I have to like have a loop that continuously listens until I say bye Jarvis. What kind of loops do I have? I have a for loop. I don't like that. Loops logic. That's actually a good idea. So if well, I'm gonna connect. I need to run this in the loop. Can I put it? Yep, there it is. Okay, so I can run that there. So I don't like the for loop. I wish I could do a while loop that I can exit with a word. Uh, well, hmm, for a range too. It's not even like a loop over. It's not even like yeah. For, what else can I do? I wish I had. Oh God, my logic brain is breaking. Hold on. Required confidence, always on looping, delay. Yeah, I could potentially do a max loop of 5. Let's do this. Delay 5, maybe 5 every 5 seconds it listens or something. Let me see how that would be. I'll take away this. I'll run this normal. I'll get this out of here. Delete this. Max loops. It's a very simplified loop here. What's Windows? Oh, I can direct to a different window. Interesting. Okay, so then I go out, I save, leave. Now it should have refreshed. Okay, and now it's back. Okay. So, and this is the way I activate it, right? The problem is I did the crisis thing. I should be calling it Jarvis, but crisis is like I would say the Vox commando space. The Hey Jarvis is specifically a command for activating this script. So eventually I can um change the naming on this. Instead of Hey Jarvis, very generic, I can just kind of start it up Jarvis, comma, do the thing. Jarvis, comma, do the thing. That's good enough. And whatever I say is going to be the cases for that thing. Okay.
One moment.
Oh, no. Don't do it.
One moment. One moment. One moment. To go. One moment.
Wait a minute.
Understood. What do you mean by go down? Could you please clarify or specify further?
Yeah, so it did loop. Not good. Delay was 5 what? 5 milliseconds? Hold on. Required confidence. Must confirm. Edit what? Copy, all paste. About 50. Save, exit, refresh. Jarvis, what year was Rome's fall?
One moment. One moment. One moment. One moment. One moment. The Roman Empire fell in 476 AD.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, depends on the project. Sometimes I do. I did have some vibe coding streams in the past. And this was when I was doing the AI code here, not the book, not that one. Hold on, it's a whole different workplace. AI code. And actually did some Roblox scripts recently. We did some 3D stuff. I did the solar system online, and I did a little bit on how I kind of played around with the systems involving how much can a AI actually do on different levels. So mostly I use Grok because I don't need a heavy programming AI. I essentially just need a base format to start me off. Then I go into the code and I modify it to fit my liking. And this was some of that stuff. The solar system apparently doesn't work. Uh, what else did I do? Moz extensions. Oh yeah, I have like a little. I didn't actually stream this one. This was actually something I played with on an AI system where I made a Firefox compatible plugin where it's like sticky notes on certain web URLs. So when you go to that URL, you can see a sticky note that you left yourself behind, like do this or do that, and it saves per URL. So like you can go to whatever pages as long as the URL doesn't change. Hold up, I see you here. Let me put you up. Yeah, yeah. So it all depends on the prompting system. Man, I even made recently a online, like if you go here, like hold on, what was it in this? ChrisMIA.com. Was it tutoring room? Tutoring rooms. No, where was it? I might have been, I probably, because I kind of put it in the background. Room equals, no, slash, oh my God. Where was it? Room setup. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it was just regular room. Okay. So you go to room. I actually set up a little virtual share screen like a Discord. I mean, not really. It's the remote session handler, right? So I can basically do the same thing you're seeing on screen right now, and then I compose and create a room for my student, and then from there I just send them the link and the thing. Is it still going? Good. And this one's also good. So basically, yeah, I send them a link and then we meet on my platform. So basically, I've created my own desktop sharing platform with WebRT, RTC, RCT, WebRCT, WebRT. I can't remember what it was. And I use vibe coding, but it took a bit of. This is actually an interesting one. I started doing this way back, early AI, a year and a half ago, right? And let me see, what's my resources? Oh, I'm heavy on them because, oh, hold on. Why are my resources so heavy? Hey, Jarvis, are you still there? Crisis, are you there? I gotta change that.
Waiting for orders, sir.
Jarvis, are you there?
One moment.
Yeah.
One moment.
Oh no,
Yes, one moment.
it's the loop.
One moment.
No,
One
stop.
moment.
No, no loop. No loop.
Understood. I won't repeat any information from this prompt again. Let's proceed with the user's request.
Oh God, there's
Please
no delay.
provide me with the user's prompt. One moment. Hello. How can I assist you today?
So that's when it's a blank response. Jarvis, what is the year the encyclopedia was created? Hey Jarvis, or Jarvis, what is the year the encyclopedia was created? Oh, Jarvis, what is the year the encyclopedia was created?
One moment.
MSI computer. See?
One moment.
That. Oh, wait.
MSI, originally Microstar International Co., Limited, was established in 1986.
I have to
They're
always
known
like
for
close
producing
this down.
motherboards and various computing hardware.
So basically, I'm using an on computer model. You can see my graphics card's going heavy on this. And I can now connect this Jarvis, this Vox commando into my Olama server. And that's the next step because I've made a basic connection. The problem with this connection is basically just calling the model, sending the details, and calling it a day. That's all it's doing. And this model in this moment in time doesn't actually go online or do anything after that point, right? So my next step is here's the Olama package, the pre-prompt, all that stuff, right? Content, application, JSON, data, JSON dumps. So this is basically taking in the headers of application JSON type. It's creating the headers to be sent to the server as a JSON package. So when you take a header, it's basically taking the first X amount of bits in front of any file and you define what it is. Not on like a HTML basis, right? It's not the identification by the .py. That's one way we can identify a file. .png, .py, .cvs. It's not that one. There's also a few bytes in front of every single file that identifies it to what it is. That's kind of like the header. And in this case, we're giving it an application JSON format. So then we throw the payload, which again, the payload here is the prompts, the pre-prompt and the voice stuff that I have just spoken together, glued with a plus. And the URL endpoint is this to generate AI responses using Mistral Nemo right now. This is just kind of the Olama base packet direction, right? And this is how we communicate on the network. Like Olama's running locally, I can also run it on a different computer. I just changed the IP address. And when I have it running, and if it's a server, I can connect that particular port that it's hosting the API and then give it prompts through this. And it's basically just calling Olama, doing the packaging, reading the content, figuring out what it is with the model in question. And then it goes line by line on the response. It iterates through the response, which is right here on the request. This is a post request sent to the model. That's kind of the important thing too. Yeah, there's two forms, right? There's a get request, which we try to do in the other format. And then there's a post request that you see here. So hold on, let me put you up, Toxic. I was going to do that, but I got distracted with finalizing this question you had. There you are. So I think I'm going to go back to this.
One moment. Hello.
There we are.
How can I assist you today?
Let's do this one. Just changing, transitioning over here. There we go. Cool. But like you said, yeah, these days when I do vibe coding, you have to know a level of debugging. And this is kind of the thing about programming. It's not just, oh, I'm generating code in my head. Now I'm going to write it down and it's going to work perfectly fine. You need to not only know how your 15% works. This is from the video that I created on the 15% of, let me see, programming. Should probably go to my channel. The way that this is organized is funky. So if you go to my channel, you search for programming 15%, was it? I wonder if I used that. 15% you need for all languages. So you got a printing ability in basically every single language. You can open a file with this. I think that's actually nice. Please open file. That's very polite. Please open file, thanks. And then awesome, thanks. And
Oh yeah, this was low code.
Bye is probably the best way to end the program.
Low code.
We say here. So yeah,
What is this
low code,
ad crap, man?
but we're gonna go through the simplistic, the 15% of programming that exists in every language.
This is low code.
I basically go over that.
Oh my god, I'm
have
looking at
this
myself
in
going
my
over it.
notes right
I've done
here.
this before.
My
I lost my
playlist.
video. Hold on.
It's me you're looking for.
Hold on, I
Shareable
lost it.
link.
Uh,
There it is. I go through the bare bone concepts.
demystifying. That's the one. Okay, so I'm looking for the demystifying programming. Demystifying programming. There it is, this one. So this one I go through 3 different languages here. I go through JavaScript, Python, and C++, and basically show you not only the first 15% in one language. I don't think I did classes though. That's the only thing I may have left out, which I should probably expand on this concept, going all the way through all the 15%. Yeah, dude, I lost it. I don't know where I put that file or the video. Forgot what I named it even. I was thinking it was a demystifying because there's a part 1 and part 2 and part 3. The part 4 I might expand further, and this is when I actually used. Is that Notepad plus plus? That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, there's a part 1, 2, and 3. Maybe I did do classes. Part 2. I should probably name it a little bit better. Oh, okay. This is the next step here. Continue programming between CPP, JavaScript, and the running environments. And I also show you how to set up the Python running environment because that one's a little bit trickier.
The Python is its own file, while like if you want to do C++, you gotta download kind of its own environment. And while C++ only works under a compiled environment, meaning you take all the code, convert it to bits and bytes on the 0-1 level, Python is interpreted, meaning it just kind of reads each file or each line by line and acts on that. So it's really more like a JavaScript where it depends on Chrome to run or the Chrome V8 engine. Python is a very similar form, but even more integrated into the system as a Python folder. That's why I have so many Python versions, to be honest. 3.11 was the best one for AI. So I stuck it in my little secondary AI drive. I have a bunch of different like web GUIs for different types of AI. And Python 3.11 is like the perfect match for the most compatible plugins, TensorFlow, etc. And then I have the other Pythons in my local disk, which are 12 and 10. And I think I had 27s. There it is, and 27. Sometimes there's some scripts I play with on GitHub that require a specific version. So then I go into that directory or run it from there. You get the point, right? So I should probably rename some of these, maybe Python 27, put them in the command form on the environments. So that's something I can do, but I don't do these that often, so it doesn't get in the way. I really mostly use my 3.11. But anyway, I go through that and I have the functions here, characters, there's the formatting. So this is between C++ on the right and JavaScript on the left. Like they're basically the same, While JavaScript doesn't require you do a semicolon, it'll kind of fix it for you. C++, that's basically like a broken bug and the computer hates you and has no idea how to solve that problem. So you have to put the actual semicolons more strictly than JavaScript. But you can also have a strict keyword where it acts more like C++ with more strict writing. If I can say that, coding, more strict coding. So you have to include the comma, semicolon. You would also have to like declare variables before you use them. That's a normal base strictness for C++, but it's not common in JavaScript. It doesn't care. You can kind of use a variable sometimes out of nowhere and it'll work. But I think they've made it a bit more strict. So creating the variable first. I wonder if I went through objects. No. Yeah, I was just analyzing this set. Anyway. So those are basically how you can get a good idea of the first 15%, how it's between different languages, and kind of helps you expand on knowing one to know the others, and you can learn more. After you learn your third language, the rest kind of become the same thing. Just you're gonna have to sometimes go online and be like, what was the syntax for this one? How did I start this? Or did I need a semicolon or not? And eventually you just kind of get used to separating them. So now there's the payload into data. The request is a response. So the response doesn't activate until this moment. So we basically store this object method post inside of object requests, and it doesn't get activated until the response iter lines is activated over here. So this then starts the connection to the AI. The AI is returning lines, and then it's taking those lines, decoding them from basically a JSON UTF file. Changes it from response. Okay, JSON load. So you're loading the JSON, changing it into an array, a local dictionary. That's the thing too. Well, actually it'd be more of an array. Python calls them dictionaries, but they're really more like key value pairs. Because then Python also has something called a tuple, which is basically like only a two variable combination, like an X and a Y, like you cannot change. And once you create it, it's always just the same. It never changes. It's more like a variable that's very strict and never changes once you create it. So it kind of is for a security level variable system. We used to use them a lot in binary searches and a bunch of algorithms back in college or university. So the response is being decoded from the JSON import, and these are all the imports I needed, right? I imported math because I might need to do some math stuff. Date time is imported. Operating system if I need to give it access to like modify files, but I haven't given that ability yet. And then it decodes the line. So I'm kind of refreshing myself as I'm, working with this detail, giving you an idea of how it was structured, because we're going to have to take that info, reading the code, understanding the code, and then figuring out where our input is going to be, where our adjustments will be to expand the functionality with the other file. The other file is back to my other file, the one I was looking for before. Favorite, I suppose. AI, I suppose. Extract audio, no. Snake TensorFlow training. Assistant? No, this was something else. Oh, no, that was definitely something else. So I'm gonna go to back to GUI. I think I have the best case there. Web UI. No. Olama Web. Oh, maybe this was where I started. Olama Web. Web Llama. That's what it was. It was Web Llama. I finally found it. Okay, so that was my adjustment. Called it Web Llama. Web Llama works from the command prompt. No interface. Okay. All right. Finally found it. So let's run that on its own. See how that works. Okay, so this is it right here. Literally has begun speaking it out. Enter user task. So here we basically approach this in a very similar form. This is actually important because once you do this a couple of times, it becomes the same process to access the same Olama API. Beautiful Soup is basically us taking a web page apart into parts. When we do that, we're essentially observing, analyzing, or reducing the amount of our context window. That's important for the first case scenario. But in a general better case is that what we're doing is kind of creating a data frame of important factors like paragraphs, if I'm looking for a menu, a header, images, URLs, whatever I'm kind of looking for within, I can use Beautiful Soup to go through the HTML file and pick up the right XML markup based elements. So that's why we're using Beautiful Soup. Bloop. I need more coffee, honestly. I might have to get a coffee break in a bit, actually. I might make that now. What time is it? I have students in 2 hours. Yeah. I need to blah 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 do something real quick. All right. Back at it. Just got my coffee, took a little mini break, and we're back in it. So we're going to keep going with our connection between our Iron Python, which was essentially the locally managed Python script that I've imported into my Vox Commando. So again, if you're just joining or if you're just starting from this point forward, we're basically working with Vox Commando, a little teeny tiny application that you can basically find from a developer. Gosh, so long ago. Where was it? There it is. Vox Commando. And it basically serves to use your microphone as a, voice detector, voice reader, and then you can organize your commands in a particular format to do random stuff like crisis. Let me do and change that. Go
Yes,
away.
sir.
Oh, crisis. Crisis? So that's him. That's my little bot. I have named him Crisis for certain command types, really. The naming convention is simply for specific commanding sequences. He goes to sleep after a certain amount of time. He's on standby. Crisis. I gotta say it in the full form, but I'm getting tired of saying it at the full form. Crisis, are you there?
Listening.
I gotta say that every single time I want him to start listening. But I'm going to change that too, because I'm getting kind of annoyed with that. But I gotta figure out where that part is. Check in. Stop. Scripts. Python. That's the main scripts. I have... Oh, yeah. Oh, true. Do I have that set up? I have a built-in ping. I have a built-in ping. It's gonna tell me the ping directed to something, but I don't know if that works completely. Computer crisis. Show yourself. Computer listen. Used to be how I would get control of it. Maybe it's up here. Chat. Greet. Yes, sir. Computer crisis. Listen. Oh, there we go. So I can make this optional. Crisis. Oh, right. Save, close, let it do its thing, reset. Crisis.
Yes.
There you go. Now it listens to me with the base command. So and the kind of result here is that this is a voice command system. It identifies the words you say, and then you can use those words to basically activate certain things. I showed a video earlier and the level you can do this. You can make a smart house out of this. So that's pretty cool. But our goal now, and it's using Olama, is to connect Vox Commando to Olama. Wait, did I just close it completely? Yes, no, it's right here. Okay, cool. So these are the two connections we're trying to work with. And the idea is we're going to use the Olama API, not really this interface, not this window. And if you've seen my other videos on AI, well, basically you can have your own AI running on your graphics card. It all depends on how much virtual RAM you have. You can always keep track and see how much the models are taking. And normally they take a little bit less than what their size is. For instance, if I look at, and I think Mistral Nemo, I have to go into my little command prompt here. Olama list. So Mistral Nemo is about a 7 gig size. And when I do run it, that's the one I'm using right now. Although I can try Granite, but I also like this one. This one is starting to be an interesting version that I like to work with. I don't know what GigaChat was about, but that was something I tried out. Now there was a model in LLM Studio. So that's the one thing I've basically got so far is just a connection to Olama, not to LLM Studio. I might expand that. Because I found some pretty good models on there too. But I'm going to use a Qwen 3.5. And I'm going to go into the script. This is the WebLlama server, so it's not really what I'm looking for. This is the kind of code that I've started with that I can ask it, hey, what is the weather in West USA? Hold on. What is, oh, because I closed it, I think. In West USA. Okay, so that's the bad one. I have a couple of copies. WebLlama server is not good. Let me check this one. I have some old code. Oh, right. Oh, I hate when that's happening, so I'm going to take this. I need to run it through my local Python, not the built-in one, because apparently the built-in one just... I tried to change it, but it didn't work. Weather in West USA. There we go. So this one's actually the functional one. It goes online. It has some prompts it's using. It's currently thinking, query, start by searching the internet for the weather. It's using the search internet option function I gave it. It's going to open up a browser, which I'm trying to make silent on the next... Actually, did I not have... No, the problem with the silent was that it picks it up as a bot every time I use the no header version of this. So that still has some issues. Was it 2 that I fixed the issues? I can't remember. Let me try 2. No. So I think the best one so far is the regular WebLlama, unfortunately, and it's still got some issues. Maybe something changed. Weather in the West, Python, Ollama, fall result. Which version was working fine? Let me grab this one. One of them was working just good enough that I was using it in my face llama. And one thing I'm not is best at organizing when I'm in the process of coding. Okay, I think this was the one. So now you can see the processing is going. I think it's using Mistral. If I look at the WebLlama copy, there we go. Persistent issue with the tools. Manually check reliable website. File currently varies by region. Blah blah blah. Okay, so it was not able to run the tool. Apparently, it's not using the right. Well, it is fetch page contents. The problem with that is that it identifies sometimes as a bot, or a pop-up can get in the way. I thought I fixed that little detail, but I think I fixed it in the WebLlama version. But even then, here doesn't really tell us much about the weather. So it ran 8 times, not bad. Or more, yeah, 8 times. And I still need to work on it, essentially, to get it to truly function. But let's see, and sometimes the model does play a big part. I am using DuckDuckGo right now. But, and I think I have the, okay, so I have the Quen coder. So let's change that to Quen 3.5 distilled. Let's see if that improves the agent a little bit. Oh wait, I gotta close this and rerun it. Because it's also the case for, oops. No, this is the, yeah, the one. It's giving me the same odd error again. But this time, this is the web server copy 3, even though all I did was change the model. Oh, maybe I have to do the whole, I think I have to do this whole string. Oh, okay. So this is a case that it didn't find the model. Okay, maybe that's the problem for the other one too, is it didn't find the model. The errors don't necessarily come out to be super clear. That's the problem too. West California. So debugging, West California, West USA. Debugging kind of is an art on its own, a learned skill set, if you will. So now I'm using the other agent, which should be less. It's 5.6 gigs. It dropped down, freeing memory. So I think I'm also what's my performance here? I have other things using memory right now, or graphics processor, I think. Let me see. CPU, services, processor, max. Olama is the main one. Command agent. Komodo. Okay, processing though. But where's the graphics? That's the only thing that it's missing here. The monitor doesn't include graphics analysis. Just the GPU over here. I can't take a look at exactly what the GPU is. Oh, well, I guess I can go here and just do it here. Yeah. So Olama, client server runtime process, the desktop Windows manager, Brave. That's true. Brave is taking up quite a bit of space here. I'm gonna close this out. Give my graphics card a little breathing room. There we go. Just a little bit, a little going down. No, thanks for the update. What else can I kind of free up? Terminal? Really? I guess so. Nothing crazy. But it is, I guess, a little bit more performance heavy than the regular command prompt. Oh, so that should be good, but there we go. NOA weather, official USA weather service. So this is interesting to actually, oh, well, okay. It's giving me info, but it's like kind of not necessarily specific. I do not have real-time access. That's probably the one thing I prompted it, the tools it has. It has, let's see, use the internet search tool to find out. I hope it still maintains the same chat log, because I do technically work with the chat log in here. I have a chat log that happens to be the commands or the communication one after another. And it should use it, but maybe I have done something wrong, but okay. Call the get population tool. Talk about hallucination. China's population. What are we doing? Let me work through this problem step. Yeah, what? No. What? What are we doing? Okay, so maybe it didn't. That's the thing about AI is, especially on the local base, you got to consider how much they're tied to a type of text predictor. So if you're not as clear as possible with your request, it's gonna fill in the blanks with stuff. Like I just basically told it use the internet search to find out, and then it's like find out what. And this is probably because my chat communication or the chat history isn't optimized yet. Not here, at least. I think I optimized it in the GUI version of this. This is just like a API, WebLlama server communication API. So it just filled in with population for China or whatever. No, perfect. So let me be a little bit more specific to find out the weather in West USA. This is probably old too, dude. This is like, from what year is this? And this is hallucinating. There is no get population function. Okay. I'll search for the current weather information in Western United States. I'm searching for the current. So it is actually telling me, searching, ... After reviewing the search results, let's hope this is real though. Because sometimes it also hallucinates data a little bit. Utah, California. Okay. Now, the way I would actually check is I created a set of files that pop up, pages. So when it's actually searching, actually using the tool, it saves the page here so I can verify the search. And basically, let's see what it looked like. Review and File Explorer. Because it can fetch page, that's the first one, and then it can also... Okay, just update already, jeez. And also it's probably going to open up the big... Yeah, let me close the rest of that. What? What? Oh my god. What is these buttons? What is going on here? Oh, CRXNG is actually working it out. Okay, so it's using CRXNG. It did take out a lot. Oh, the last time was the silver prices.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh. Ignore me.
Idling.
Okay. So it didn't actually search correctly, or it's actually pulling stuff out of its butt. I feel like it's pulling stuff out of its butt because it didn't do the search. Let's look again. Incomplete response format. The Western US. For precise real-time forecasts. So it's making stuff up. Because I don't even see it do the tool call. Normally the tool call should be here, and it'll send that tool call based on the prompt I gave it to understand. So that's its own little thing to function with. Maybe I should improve that first. But also, I just realized that error that I had was from that. So what if I create a new Python window? We don't have a reveal or open terminal, open integrated. There we go. So Python web llama pi. Weather in West
I am here.
USA. Ignore me.
Standing by.
See, this should be kind of how it works out. I should be able to see the right prompt, the tool name that I'm giving it, and it's thinking. Yes, it is thinking. It should be thinking. It's on a high processing rate. Oh, but then again, I'm using it in 2 places. This is probably bad. Hold on. Nope. Yep. I was using it in 2 different places. Probably messed something out. Because the problem is your model is loaded based on... Maybe it's still using the same loaded format. It probably is. If it's already loaded, it just distributes it. But if you activate an actual query on both, I wonder... Maybe the last one that gets caught runs. That might be the case. Okay. Let me try that again. Giving it a test. Okay, well, what if I test it here? Maybe I'm calling it from too many places and potentially... Oh, no. Test hypothesis? Really? That's what we're going for? That's weird. It's going through a whole set of questions related to something for a test. So it assumed statistics. Holy, what? Why are you speaking to me in Chinese? That's crazy. Hold on. Current test. What? Is this...
Awaiting command.
Ignore me, damn it.
Let me know when you need me.
Okay, now I'm curious. What did it do for test in this Chinese format? I'm gonna go and translate this. That's weird. Please explain task test. Based on the log snippet you provide, a task test typically appears in the large model. Core meaning test here is a placeholder or debug tag used to mark the current execute state unit. Okay. This is telling it's doing this in Chinese. Weird. What are we doing? What are we doing, AI? I just gave it test. It did it 10 times. Current test. Now I wonder if it got messed up with all the other stuff. Because over here it did something else. Frequency, large number of repeated current testing along suggest model may be processing repetitive instructions. It's actually like debugging itself in Chinese. Hello? What? This model is debugging itself in Chinese? That's crazy. Okay, based on the long snippet, test typically appears in the language model reasoning system. Test case, test data here, test represents scenario B looping or error handling system instructions. So it's kind of detecting on its own the issue. Okay. Wow. It's doing test. Let me think this carefully. Task appears to involve entity resolution and to me whether two entities were to the same real world. Okay, so it is using its history. Because the first thing that happened was doing some sort of query. No. I'm confused if now my Olama application, because that's where it told me about this whole hypothesis testing thing, is somehow bleeding into me accessing it from the API, causing it to understand the history for the current task was actually related to this. So it's saying, all right, there's like now I'm detecting potentially a history that exists inside of the API that's keeping track of what's being said. So that's why I decided to go into this sort of agent response. You're a specializing entity, databases, APIs. It's taking in, let me think, this task appears to involve entity resolution, entity A, B, type, person, threshold 0.8, the result returns similarity score. John Doe, person. Both entities identical. Similarity score. John Doe, similarity score. Match confirmed these entities represent the same person. I think I did this a long time ago where I was trying to compare texts. Not texts. Well, technically, pieces of text between two people, one that wrote it in one way and the other person that wrote it to match to see if there's like a correlation. So now it's still here. There's correlation between John Doe and John Doe, but we didn't plug anything about a correlation. It's like an old ghost thought that it had a long time ago. If it's even doing that, it could be totally random. Let me do another test. Let me just actually be testing input. Very strange. Okay, testing input. Okay. The current task is testing input, but it's doing math. It's trying to fill in a much larger query. It's not understanding what I'm saying. And maybe it's defaulting to some sort of calculation input that it's trying to think I'm trying to imply. Horrible text predictor. Okay. I'm not liking this. So I'm probably not going to use this because this was an older version. I'm going to have to scrape from the GUI. Actually, the GUI doesn't have Olama, I think. Maybe. I'm dumb. Of course it does. Oh, that's not up. Where am I? Face Llama. What do I call it? What? I need this one. No, no. And then I'll select this model. Couple of walnuts down the drain. Okay, so I have the model, I just don't have the function for online internet. Okay, okay. That was a big difference. This was more just a interface with Olama, while WebLlama was my next attempt at using the internet search tool. Oh, whoops, search internet backwards. It's just a problem. Something's up with this in the way that it's not actually launching the tool. See, this is what it's doing. This is what the AI is basically doing. The instruction that it's doing is please complete the following sentence, even though I told it to use the tool. And then it's like going from the weather in the USA is weather is highly variable across. That's exactly how AI works on its base component. It doesn't smartly do anything. It doesn't reason. It doesn't interpret what you're saying. It just says, hey, finish the rest of this. So given the right tools and a better programmer than me, apparently, in the AI space, you direct that, you influence the auto-complete based on real-time data, and it'll respond. The weather in the West USA is, what, 80 degrees or whatever, right? This time it's responding with this form. Temperate rainforest, Pacific, da-da-da-da-da. So let me check this one. I think the second one was better. How did I exit this? Forgot how to exit the stupid thing. Yeah, okay, the model. Again with the model. There we go. So let's see if this was the most recent one, give or take. I think 3 worked the best, didn't it? I think 3 worked the best looking at that finalization. So I'm going to take 3. I'm going to organize this a little bit. I'm going to call this main WebLlama .py. Trying to see if it does actually provide the tool call, because it's supposed to report on the tool call before it sends it.
One moment.
Ignore me. Ignore me? Okay, it is ignoring me. Oh.
Jarvis here. Could you please clarify what tool you're referring to? I want to ensure my response is accurate and helpful.
So that was actually accessing Olamo. That's why I lagged a little bit. And it's heard me speak about tool or recorded it. And it was specifically going for a tool call vocally. But that part of the application is not communicating with the main yet, or with the Olama Connect yet. So I need to find a way in the Olama pack. I'll need to give it the prompts. Search text prompts, parsing prompts, main WebLlama. There it is. The prompts tool. So system prompts is the main kind of import. This is me describing its tool, the tool name. I gave it these tools here, search internet and fetch web page. It gets converted into a text down here. And then it gets imported into this to be reused here. Okay, do the run agent. Let's do the run agent function. We're gonna go through piece by piece how it runs. So the system prompt format, it takes those format tools from the prompts. There it is, the function. That's the tool description variable. So it takes that, puts it in there, runs it, returns. What is it returning? The tool string coming from the tool string, essentially. Which is prompting class. Hold on, let me close this class real quick. Oh, wait, the whole thing. Oh, right, I had to create a class in order to use that. Is that the issue now then? Do I have my tools here? No. I'm not even importing it. Hold on, I think I found the issue with the tool set. Okay. So I'm not importing the tools that I have saved in a different location, prompts themselves. Okay, that's a step forward to the direction I'm looking for. Oh, I forgot how to attach this. Hold on. Ah, I do have a reference though. Which was my Fathom. Oh, it's in the Markowitz space. Favorite bot. Okay, favorite bot. Yep, of course, right here. Okay, there it is. So I need to system append the path. This was me importing Markowitz as a file, so I'm going to use that as a reference. The first thing here to import my prompt, I need to take the system path append import. I think I'll have to do a direct import of prompt. I'm going to copy the relative location, paste it here. Not relative, my bad. I need exact path, full path. I need a full path just in case. All right. That's going to grab my prompt. Where's Fathom at? Oh, I didn't load it, or it didn't open it. Keep it open. Okay. And then I have to import the class inside. I'm pretty sure Markowitz was the name of the class. Let me see.
I am here.
Go away. Ignore me.
Idling.
Learning Python, money, faves, markers. Damn, where am I going with this? Money? No, learning. Favorite. X files 2 learning. Markowitz? What X? Oh, did I not modify this? There is no X right now. So really it's files. Oh, geez. Let me explore the path here with the file editor. It's not here. Oh, is that is that Megaboy? Files? No, file history file. Where the heck did I put files? Learning. Python money faves. I don't think I'll have that set up anywhere right now. Nitro? No. Fastboy? Wait. No. Kinda, but not really. Megaboy files, no. MV2 files, no. Okay, so it's not a direct. That's why this is not working. Probably not working. If I actually work with it, that's why it's giving me an error. It doesn't find it. Am I gonna fix it? Yeah, I probably should. So Fathom, Fatbot. That is a case though. Finish sound, sounds Audacity. Money, Markowitz. It's not the custom one I have. That's a different one. Favorite, Marco. There it is. And then Markowitz. And then Markov chain. Class Markov chain. There it is. So I'm going to grab this, copy path, go back to Fathom. This is actually the file I'm looking for. Although I don't. Do I? Marco Markowitz. I think I just need to do faves Markowitz. Markov chain. Oh yeah, because this is just a folder being imported. And then I would do import Markov chain. Or no, I would, yeah, right? Markov chain as MK or MC. Could not be resolved. Oh, right. This is using the slashes. I hate this. Windows has a double left slash thing happening, which is an escape character, which messes up stuff. If I do doubles or if I do R, it's gonna ignore that. A couple of tests here. path append. Oh, from Markov chain. Okay, hold on. I think I got to do from Markov chain, import Markov chain, import Markov chain. Right, all right. Could not be resolved. Okay. I did have it working at some point. Was it Fatbot that was a working version? No, that's for the thing. Oh, Python faves. It's in the directory structure. Pretty sure my GUI works the same way, doesn't it? The OLAML, the face LAML. Because it has Mark GUI. No, modules. OLAML 2 Qt. I am importing a bunch of modules, so I could probably look at it from here. Modules. Append module path. Module path. Current direct. Oh, that's nice actually. Because that's kind of how I have this set up. And this would be Markov chain, but I don't have it in the current directory, so what I'll do is move it over. Wait a minute. Markowitz Markov chain. Markowitz. Hold on. Yeah. Markowitz. No. God, I forgot how to import. Ugh. Import directory into variable Python. I'm doing something wrong. Import lib. OS path join path to directory and then the file. So technically I need the whole file in system path append, not the directory only. Module path. Okay, so then Markov chain. No, .py. Oh no, that's from using a different type of aspect. Import module file. No, yeah, it is definitely directory. OS path absolute directory. Okay, that's the probable case here. os.path or .abs path. Then I'm gonna grab the directory only. OS, but I don't have OS, so I'm gonna import OS. Oh, path to directory, and then import module file, which would be just this part. Wait, what? And then I will do Marco equals Markov chain dot Markov chain, because that's the class name inside. I'm assuming it might actually work, it's just not defining it specifically. Let me see if that runs. God. Maybe this was the setup I had for Discord. Intent. Discord client. Oh, they changed the API or they changed something in the Discord import. So that's just a whole different thing. All right, fine. That should work though. So now if I ignore that, go back to where I was working. Here's the case where I want to weblama 3, copy 3, which now I've put into main weblama, but I'm going to use this working location. And main is going to be the fixed pieces. So same idea. os.path.abs.path. And then remove the file. And then import prompts. Prompts. Okay. Oh, OS is not in. Request OS. There we go. So that should do it. Okay, okay. So now I have the prompts in. Let me check it though. Imported. So if I do prompt dot tools or the system prompt, I'm gonna print prompts dot system capitals probably. I need to create a class for object first. I'm just gonna do. Hold on. Prompt. Okay, how about setup equal? Nah, it's such a generic word. Prompt set equals prompts. Then I can do print prompt set dot system prompts. Which should be printing out system prompts right there. Prompts, capitals, all caps. And then if I run that sucker, can't open file. I'm not in the right directory. Oh my god, I'm running so many things over there. System prompts not readable. Has no attribute system prompt. Prompts. Module prompts. Okay. Prompts. Well, hold on. Prompts dot prompt. Yeah, I think I need to reframe the way I name things. Okay, good. I think. So it is printing it. And if I turn this print off, wrong comment, number £. It should not print that. Okay, good. So now I've imported the secondary module file or the object for the prompts. Now anywhere that I need to import these, let me find where my prompts were. System prompt. Oh, wait, I do technically have it here. And Web3. But this might be... Is it the same prompt that I have? No. Not the same, but it's close. I can actually just update the variable here to here. So I'm trying to essentially export all my prompting into a secondary Python file so that I can use that as a universal prompt adjuster. And then I'll be able to just always modify it globally. It's basically like a save file for all the prompts and the stuff like this, including the fact of how to use the tools that I'm giving it, and then the tool details. But I can tell these tools are 2 of them: fetch, web page, search, internet. And I've been modifying this to have a bigger set of tools: fetch page content, execute Python, which I haven't used very often, finish processing, which is a type of finalization I'm trying to do with it. Man, this has been some time since I worked with this, but so far it doesn't look too shabby. what I can do, now that I have it imported, take this, double check which prompt is better. Ah, this one's so long. Oh, buddy. Got to be careful with prompts. You can't make them too crazy. So I think this one was better. So I'm going to give it this prompt here. In fact, I'm going to back this up. Oh. Okay, so I backed it up with Alt Shift down to make an exact copy, and then Control / to comment it out. So I've backed it up. Always pays off to know the shortcuts here. And then I'm going to give it this, or really, nope, I gotta give it inside of the key value pair. There we go. And that's the prompt that I want to give it. Maybe give it a tab. Oh, definitely. Python in the variable creation process. Tabs aren't too crazy. It's when you're organizing your functions, variables, and loops and blocks of code that they are much more delicate in the tabbing space. Like the tabs for an array probably does not actually matter as much, but I still want to keep it organized. There we go. So that's that. Then I prompt.tools for this one. I'm going to do the same thing. Alt-Shift down, make an exact copy of tools, and then Control / to comment it out. Just to save the tools, and then here... Right, I didn't actually do the replacement here. So now I can replace with prompt set. Which might be bad because why do I have the prompt set with a init? Oh, right, because oh, wait a minute. I do have different variables in here. Oh. Internal. Yeah, I have a final prompt, a research prompt. Oh, true. Okay, well, I'm gonna start with the init because I still have to like optimize the prompts. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this dot system prompt and then init. So that should specifically import the init version of my system prompts here, which would be that same string that we saw earlier. Oh, incoming. Let me run this real quick. No, system prompt. Did you mean system prompts? Yes, I did mean system prompts. You're right. Okay, test. So it's still running. Okay, now we've imported it, optimized the little main running code space. Yeah, hold on a bit. I'm busy a second. Call me back in 5-10.
I'll call you back in 10.
All right. Let's see. So that means I can do the same basic thing, but the prompts for this is just tools. All the tools. I basically want all the tools there. So here I'm just gonna do prompt set dot tools. Yeah. No specific. But it is also taking quite some time. Are you running? Yeah, it is running. It just started up the graphics card, so it's probably thinking a bit here. Give it some time to think and respond. Like, are you thinking? Are you looping? Are you stuck? You responding? You're using up my graphics memory. What are you doing, bro? Come on. Come on, work that brain. Work that tiny little 3078 gigabyte of GPU memory brain. Come on. You're only 5.6 gigabyte. You got this. Wait, did I actually change the model? Yeah, I did to Quen, which is the finer version. It's totally nice. It's not bad. All right, I'm gonna give this a second and see how long it takes for it to run BRB real quick. It's not doing it. It's not doing it. It's trying to do something, but it's really not doing anything. How'd that run? Hold on. Another cup of coffee. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Something's happening. Hydra. What are you talking about? Test Hydra? Interesting. Test Hydra? Is it making a script to run? Interesting. Okay, well, that's something I gotta actually figure out in the future. I'm gonna go ahead and play with this a bit more and come back in the future with a solution and continuation of this series where we're basically controlling Olama from a custom script called Olama Connect. And that script is using Vox commando to basically access and manage this sort of Iron Python script that is the Olama Connect. And this Iron Python is going to be the main entry point for my Vox commando speak recognizer to be able to basically talk to my AI. And I thought it'd be a fun little project. That's basically what I'm doing it for. It's like a fun little project, expanding on some files that I already have that are the WebLlama server, which I have yet to optimize just yet. It's my entry point that I'm going to use some of this code and prompting and the tools available to basically amplify the capabilities of the Olama Connect file so that it can actually use tools and, well, go on the internet first and foremost. I want it to do research for me. That'd be nice. That'll be spoken research, so I'd have to give it some tools like write file, be able to like write down the specific factors of like, oh, you know, whatever you find, write it to a file so I can look at it later, sort of thing. So it's not just talking in my ear the response that it finds. That's a couple of tools I have to create. Now keep on playing around with that. And be back in the future with more of the series as we expand the little plugin that I have here. A little plugin that's going to do a lot of work. Anyway, thanks for joining. Hope you have your coffee in the morning. And hope you enjoyed and learned something from this stream.